Call the meeting to order. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Do a roll call real quick. I'm obviously here, Steve Foster, Commissioner. Chantel, Chantel? Oh, are you trying to unmute? Greg, I'll go to you.
Present.
James,
Present.
Chantel? Can't hear you, Chantel. Are you there? I can see you. I can't hear you.
You're muted.
I don't even think she can hear
Yeah,
it.
doesn't seem like she can hear.
Yeah, Chantel's muted.
I don't think she can hear us. I can't hear everyone.
You might have to, you should send her a note, sign out, sign back in. Sorry, everyone, we're having technical difficulties.
Oh, Jess is not hearing you.
Oh, Barb's not hearing everybody either.
Is the thing muted?
Well, I mean, the other two commissioners
Oh,
are.
that's true.
Yeah.
James can hear us. Cause we had a meeting. There's sound connection.
Send Chantel a note to see if is she trying to work on it? Or did she give us a note?
Yeah, she sent a note. Okay.
And those who are able to hear us, give us a virtual thumbs up. Greg, I see.
Yeah.
I see James. Bob, are you able to hear us?
It sounds like he looks like he- Who's the meeting?
Sorry, everyone, bear with us. We're trying to work through these technical
Yep.
challenges.
No worries.
Yeah, she signed out. Now she'll sign back in.
Chantal, are you able to hear us?
I can now, thank
All
you.
right.
And
We're
you
in
are here and
business.
present. You are here and present.
I
Okay,
am
it
here
sounds
and
like,
present.
okay, it sounds like we've got a quorum. So I will look for a motion to approve the minutes from 11/19 of 25.
So moved.
Second,
I have a first and a second. The minutes are approved. Okay, now, all those in favor? Say aye.
I,
Aye.
James?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes. Alrighty, now we'll move to comments from the public. This is a chance for you to ask any questions, or provide any feedback. Alrighty, seeing no hands, no comments, we will move to board updates. Greg, can you provide an update from where you're sitting, or I have no updates? I don't know that there are updates, but, if you don't have any and I don't have any, I'll ask.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Chris. Okay, Gracie, do you have any?
Commissioner Everett, we attended the local 858 meeting yesterday. I don't know if you wanted to share any updates or provide any comments.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to hear more about the disciplinary process from the fire department's perspective. And so we'll be getting more information. I asked them for any documentation or any of their insights. And so just letting them know that there's transparency on the board. We do want to hear from them and want to make sure we're informed as much as possible. So they're not bothering us, send us information our way, just so we have all the information as we determine how we're going to move forward with Rule 12.
Fantastic, thanks, James.
Thank you.
All right, now, Gracie, it's on you for executive director report.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Foster. Brendan, do you mind sharing it? Thank you. All right, so first off, I do want to wish everybody advance happy holidays. I believe this is the last meeting the commission will be having for the year 2025. It is hard to believe the last 12 months has just gone by so fast. So wishing you on behalf of the commission and all of your loved ones a happy and safe holidays and cheering you on as we all welcome the new year. For executive director report this month, we are going to do the 25-3 Police Academy closeout. There's just some information to share with you. The academy started on the 1st of December. We actually worked with our safety HR partners to offer 73 individuals in total. As you can see, it's broken down at the chart in the middle of the right-hand side. We offered 73, 2 rescinded, 9 withdrew, 9 deferred, or they weren't able to complete their post-conditional offer examination, so they were automatic rollovers to 26-1. We do have 53 enrolled in the academy, but do note that 3 of those have been processed prior and or are also called recycled candidates. So we do have 53 in the candidates. So just wanted to say kudos and thank you to the team, especially to Tammy and Stephanie for leading the charge. I think that we are ending the year successfully as well. So that is for 25-3. On the left-hand side, you'll see the race, ethnicity breakdown, and then on the bottom right, you'll see the gender breakdown. So we've got a pretty well-diverse class for 25-3. Does anybody have any questions, Greg?
Yeah, do we have insight about the 9 who withdrew? Did they have other job offers, or do you know?
We do have insight of that, but Tammy's not prepared for that, but we can certainly send that. But we, for the most part, people tell us why they withdraw, but some of those they probably don't and withdrew from Workday. Unfortunately, it's a system limitation right now. If they withdrew off of Workday, it doesn't ask them for the reason for the withdrawal.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Perfect. Moving on to the next slide. Just want to highlight the work that civil service continues to do and all the improvements that we're making. This is a 5-year, year-over-year comparison. At the left-hand side is the academy recruit count that's total by year. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see sort of a visual of per academy through the years. So what we really want to avoid is that, sharp dips and peaks as we move forward with our process improvements. We will always see some ebbs and flows in this process just because, that's just the nature of recruitment. But as much as possible, we want to try and avoid the extreme, the sharp peaks and lows. Any questions on this? But great job. That's 5 years worth of work. The Civil Service Commission has partnered with our partners in the police department and our safety HR partners.
Well, the numbers are definitely going in the right direction, so kudos to the team. That's fantastic.
Awesome, thank you. And that is the end of my portion of the presentation. I'll turn it over to Ali.
So I'm going to talk to you guys today about the culture and engagement survey within our agency. Brandon, could you go to the next slide? So we talked about this in a previous commission meeting, but just to remind you, we used the Gallup 12 engagement survey to measure employee satisfaction within our agency. And so this was 12 questions. They were Likert type format. So everything was rated on a scale of 1 to 5 from strongly disagree to strongly agree. And we did not include open-ended questions, just to encourage employees to respond honestly, and, without concern for being personally identified. Next slide, please. So the results in the following slide are presented in 2 different formats. So we have favorability scores, which is the percentage of respondents who provided positive feedback on the survey. which is going to be agree and strongly agree. And then we also present mean satisfaction levels. So the maximum level of satisfaction for each question is a 5. So we had a 88% participation rate. 15 out of 17 of our employees responded. Overall favorability score was at 67%, and our survey was open for 2 weeks and just closed November 30th. Next slide, please. Okay, so the survey measures satisfaction in 4 areas. We have basic needs, teamwork, individual contribution, and growth. We scored the highest in basic needs with an 83% favorability. So this tells us our employees feel that they have the tools and resources they need to do their job effectively. We scored at a 72% in teamwork, which tells us most of our employees experience positive collaboration and a sense of belonging. Individual contribution, we scored at 60%. So this kind of tells us many employees are still looking for consistent recognition in their daily work. And then finally, we have growth at 53% favorability. So development opportunities and feedback are our biggest pain points right now within our agency. Next slide, please. So here we have the items where we scored the highest. We have 5 of those here. First, the mission or purpose of my agency makes me feel my job is important. We had 100% favorability score here. So employees are feeling connected to the agency's mission and show a strong sense of purpose and alignment with our organizational goals. Next, my associates or fellow employees are committed to doing quality work. We had 87% favorability, so most employees feel they work alongside colleagues who care about delivering high quality results. Third, I know what's expected of me at work. We have 87% favorability. That tells us we have clear expectations and employees generally understand their roles and responsibilities. Fourth, my supervisor or someone at work seems to care about me as a person. We had 80% favorability. So a large majority of our employees feel personally supported at work. And then finally, I have the equipment I need to do my work right. We scored 80% favorability there. So most of our employees feel equipped to perform their jobs effectively. Next slide, please. So these were our lowest rated items. So at work, I have the opportunity to do what I do best every day. We have 67% favorability. Second, this last year, I have had opportunities to learn and grow, 67% favorability. So that tells us most employees are experiencing development opportunities, yet there's room for improvement there. At work, my opinion seems to count. That was at 67% favorability. So most of our employees are feeling heard, but there's still a sizable portion that feel their input isn't being fully considered. Fourth, there's someone at work who encourages my development, 53% favorability. So just over half of our employees feel supported in their development, which tells us there's a need for more coaching. Fifth, we have in the last seven days, I've received recognition or praise for doing good work. We're at 40% favorability there. So recognition is a major gap and lacks consistency. In the last 6 months, someone at work has talked to me about my progress. Again, we're at 40% favorability here. So some feedback conversations are maybe inconsistent and lacking for a majority of our employees. And then finally, I have a best friend at work, which is at a 33% favorability. So this question is just asking if employees have a close colleague they feel they can rely on. And so this kind of tells us maybe most of our employees might not have formed close friendships in the workplace. Next slide, please. Key takeaways. So our areas where we're doing well, Our employees have strong role clarity. They understand what's expected of them and feel they have the tools and resources they need to perform effectively. There's a sense of purpose across the organization. Employees feel their work is meaningful and strongly aligned with the mission of the Civil Service Commission. And social connection and teamwork are strengths. So employees are reporting positive perceptions of their coworkers and feel they have support to collaborate on day-to-day work. Areas of opportunity. Feedback is an area for improvement. Employees would benefit from more frequent and consistent conversations about their performance and progress. And then we can expand learning and development opportunities and just kind of strengthen skill building, professional growth, and ongoing development in the future. Anyone question?
Thank you, Ally. I just wanted to add, we wanted to do the civil service specific engagement, culture engagement survey as a supplement to the citywide engagement survey, because then we would have a better focus on what our goals can be to improve our culture and morale within the agency. So as I've committed in the past, 2025 was a year of more so process, procedure, changes, and updates. And as we head into 2026 and building our next 2-year strategic plan and goals, I want us to kind of carve out a space to where we can strengthen the sense of teamwork and, provide those consistent feedback and also afford people, our team members across the board, not just our full-time staff, but also our on-call team members, the opportunity for growth and development, because we don't want this to be just a job. I think that it is very clear everybody here is what do you call that? Is bought into the mission. It is aligned with our mission and purpose, but that alignment also has to kind of be accompanied with like a sense of pride, if you will, for being part of the team. So that's kind of like the goal in the next 2 years. Commissioners, Greg?
Yeah, I had a question. Aside from the staff at the web building, who else, what categories of staff were considered or part of the survey? Like our background investigators or on-call team members? I don't think we have 17 people at the web building, do we?
No, we don't. So we included full-time staff and our on-call background investigators who primarily work remotely.
Okay, great. That's important to know. Thank you.
And on the slide where it says 15 of 17, how we knew it's just basically the count of respondents. It did not identify who was who, but just, out of our 17
No, I get it.
filled
Yeah.
positions.
Got it. Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
I do not.
All right, so that, Commissioners Taylor and Everett, do you guys have any questions?
No, Gracie, I think you brought it up. I think it was just a lot of change and a lot of procedural things like you're saying. And when you're developing in that way and building systems from the ground up, it's hard to add on growth and development. So I'm glad that you shared that. And that's what I saw as well. So thank you.
Awesome. And as we look into the next 2 years, we'll continue to look for the Board of Commissioners support, as we now proceed into sort of improving the culture and the engagement of staff and the morale. So we hope that we can continue those activities that we've started in 2025. That also includes you as well. So thank you to all the team members who have completed the survey. The only way we'll know how to improve is if we know what are the needs. So appreciate everybody's openness and willingness to put forth, what we can do better and what we have been doing great. That concludes my executive director report.
Fantastic. Okay, item number 6, proposed rule change for rule number 17.
Thank you. So we are putting forth a rulemaking initiation sorry, so rulemaking initiation, we would like to propose changes to our lateral entry commission rules. Next slide, please. Under Rule 17. All right, so in the charter, it addresses pay standards for those who qualify for lateral appointment. Specific to police officer lateral appointment, the charter outlines that with X amount of years of experience, they may be, at the discretion of the chief of police or their designee may pay them at a higher rate than a recruit. Civil Service Commission Rule 17 prescribes specifically that all applicants hired under lateral appointment shall only be appointed to police officer recruit rank. So and then to add on to that, due to the collective bargaining agreement, it is not possible to hire an applicant as a police officer recruit and pay them at a higher salary grade of either PO1 or PO2. So next slide, please. Full transparency, the commission has been processing lateral recruits in the PO1 and PO2 rank in the last few years. So as of today, it is uncertain really when the non-compliant practice has begun, which means we were hiring lateral entry as either PO1 or PO2, which by the rule, we should only hire them as a recruit. Finally, in conversations with the chief of police and also with the Office of the Executive Director of Safety, it is the desire to continue hiring lateral appointments at a salary higher than a police officer recruit, which is basically to carry on the practice that we've been doing in order to attract valuable and experienced talents. I'm sure Commissioner Foster, you can attest to this. If we were to invite lateral applicants and tell them that you will be paid at a recruit pay and they've had 8 years under their belt, we might not be able to recruit the best.
Yeah.
And so the proposed rule change aims to align civil service rules on rank upon employment and charter provision on salary upon employment for police lateral appointments. So just to give some context on what the pay we're looking at. So if we were to hire, this is salary effective January 1st. If we were to hire a lateral entry at a recruit rank, that's how much they will be paid, about $73,000. Whereas if we hire them, again, based on the X number of years of experience at a PO1 and a PO2, that's some significant difference, right? So the impacted rule on this proposal is Rule 17, Section 1, appointment of certified peace officers lateral entry. On the next slide, please. So as part of the conversation, I did some research on what other agencies are also doing in attracting lateral talents. And so you've got here some examples from Aurora PD, Colorado Springs, Westminster, Seattle PD. I think I shared with Chief Thomas more agency examples, but I figured for this presentation, I share with you somewhat some similar sized agencies or familiar to us. So as you can see, other agencies are also doing what they can to attract lateral talents, because the beauty of hiring lateral entries is that they somewhat know the job already, right?
Right.
So you're not really starting from scratch. And our friends at Police Department have also done what they can to establish and implement a streamlined academy for lateral. So it'll be somewhat of a step backwards if we kind of, hire them as a recruit and then pay them as a recruit. I don't think we'll really attract the talent that we need. So on to the next slide. This is just giving you the current rule, Rule 17, Section 1C. You'll see the language in there. I'll give you a minute to kind of read it. And then if we move on to the next slide, this is how it will look with the proposed changes. So we're basically just going to put applicants employed under the terms of this section may be appointed to police officer second grade or police officer first grade based upon merit, experience, or record as provided in Charter, section 9.3.11, subsections E, I of the charter. So our hope is that, I'm sorry, let me see. So our hope is that, you know, this will get us to compliant and continue to do what we've been doing, which is hiring lateral officers into either PO1 or PO2, depending on experience. But also with this rule change, it still allows us, like, should the course change in the future and, you know, there's an agreement where we go back to hiring them as just recruit, then we don't need to go back and change the rule. So this gives us a little bit of flexibility, and it doesn't conflict with what's in the charter.
Correct.
So, next slide, please. Our proposed timeline for the rule change, rule making process is we've done, between the 1st of December until today, you know, all these things, and we hope to do the, distribute and post the notice of the proposed rulemaking, for at least 21 days, but that extends to January 14th because that's our next commission meeting. And then after that, follow the remainder of the process, which is if there are any amendments that needs to be made based on public comments, and then leading up to the final adoption. Our goal is that, you know, the change is adopted, that's the goal and the hope. And if adopted, that it becomes effective, by at the latest February, so we can begin recruitment for lateral, in time for the June academy. Because we know we weren't gonna make it to the March Academy.
So you need a vote from us today,
Next slide, please, getting there.
okay?
All right, so decision requests for the Board of the for the Board. Civil Service Commission is seeking its Board of Commissioners approval to initiate the rulemaking process permitted under Rule 2, Section 4, subsection A.
So I need to read this. Can I get a motion to approve the rulemaking initiation for the proposed change to Rule 17? I need a
So
motion.
moved. So moved.
Greg, and a second?
Second.
James, all in favor?
Oh, wait, can we have a discussion real quick? I want to make sure
Yes,
I
sir.
understand this. So, Gracie, I didn't realize that we designated the pay level of applicants. I didn't realize that we did that. I thought we just determined whether or not they were suitable. And then the Department of Safety decided what level they would come into the police department at. I didn't realize that was part of our role.
No, it's not. So basically, it's really important to distinguish that civil service rules assign the rank that they can be hired into. The charter, and along with the collective, you know, the charter described what they can be paid at what rank, right? So our civil service rules specifically say, if you are a lateral applicant, we can only hire you at the rank of a recruit. A recruit rank is like your very basic rank, but
Right.
then
I get it.
so that's where we weren't compliant because we couldn't pay, like, safety and the department cannot pay them higher if we hire them at a recruit rank.
I see. So these are just the rules that safety has to follow, the civil service rules. I got you. Okay.
Any other question or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
James, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Chantel? Aye. Opposed? So I assume this motion passes. The motion is approved by the Civil Service Commission. Thank you. What else do we need?
No, so we will go ahead and continue with the rest of the timeline for the rule-making initiation. And then for anyone who may have, you know, a need to further review the proposal or make, you know, or submit comments, we just encourage you to provide us with those comments ahead of time. It'll be part of our posting. We did engage the executive director of safety and their policy director and the chief of police, but you know, it is my hope always that everybody who has a stake in it, review it, and then if necessary, provide their comments.
And how does it get finalized? the final process before.
So after, on the January 14th meeting, we will hold a public hearing. And then if there are no recommended amendments, then we can proceed to the, voting to adopt the rule.
And then we would vote as commissioners a
Correct.
second time to adopt the rule.
Correct.
Perfect.
And if there are public comments and proposed amendments, then we go back and discuss it on that January 14th meeting. So this vote today is just to approve for civil service to initiate the rulemaking process, not to change the rule yet.
Got it.
Ready? All right, so now we'll move to item 7, commission review of candidates.
Yep, so we'll proceed with the commission review of candidates, and I will collect votes in order of those listed on the survey results. That will be Commissioner Moore, then Everett, then Taylor, then Foster. So first candidate is candidate 365898.
No.
No.
No, I had to unmute, sorry.
No problem.
No.
Candidate 374378.
Yes.
No.
No,
Yes.
Candidate 57256.
Yes.
No.
yes,
Yes.
Candidate 371560.
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Candidate 369530.
No.
No.
no,
No.
Candidate 44189.
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
That concludes commission review of candidates.
And we do not have executive session today, items to discuss in executive session, so we won't be moving forward. So I will adjourn the meeting at this point in time. I don't need a motion for that, correct, Brian? Okay, we'll move to adjourn the meeting at this point in time. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Chantel, I hope you feel better.
thank you. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays. Yeah,
Happy
happy
holidays.
holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays, everybody.